This is Preloader Chris from Los Angeles, California. Chris is riding a 2007 Harley-Davidson Street Glide, which he bought for his birthday, and at the time of this video, he's only owned it for 3 months. Now this video was sent to me by Chris in March of this year. Chris said he hasn't ridden a motorcycle in 32 years, and when asked how he would rate himself on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best in slow-speed motorcycle operation, Chris rated himself at a 1. He said he hasn't ridden in traffic yet, just cones, and he said he craves those cones right now. Chris said he took the CHP Riders course to familiarize himself with learning how to ride. He thanked me and said he's gained so much he didn't have before he became a preloader. He said his biggest issue is not practicing enough to retain the skills he's learning. He said he has that nervous energy, but he's working on it. Well, Chris, it's been almost 3 months since you sent me this video. Shoot me an email and let me know how things are going. I hope they're going well. I hope you've been practicing. And I want to thank you for sharing this video with me and your fellow preloaders. Keep it up, buddy. Preloaders, V.I.Preloaders. Welcome back, guys. Always nice to have you guys join me. Non-preloaders, please stand by. All right, so again, you guys know what we do here on this channel. I always want you guys to know how proud I am of you, that you understand how important it is to do what we do on this channel, and that's focus on slow-speed motorcycle operation. For those of you that are not preloaders and you'd like to become a preloader, hit that subscribe button. I'm already going to assume that the fact that you clicked on to come on this channel, you're already dedicated to being proficient in slow-speed motorcycle operation. And if you're not dedicated, you're curious about it. So you're close enough, okay? For those of you that would like to be VI preloaders and take advantage of the extra perks that preloaders get, hit that join button. That button is right next to the subscribe button. Unless you're on an iPhone or an iPad, if it's an iOS device, you're not going to see it there. You'd have to actually go into YouTube on Chrome, but I've made that easy for you guys. There's a link in the description section, okay? So if you're interested in that, click on that button. Even if you're not ready to actually become a VI preloader, but you're just curious about what the extra perks are, there's a short video that you can watch just by clicking on that button, all right? So check that out, guys. For those of you that have already become a VI preloader, I want to thank you guys for helping support the channel. It's really appreciated. I also want to thank everyone that has helped the channel through donations, okay? That's highly appreciated. It's very helpful. I want to thank you guys for your emails, your comments, my Preload and Keep It Loaded people in the Facebook group. Thank you guys as well. And if you guys are interested in joining that group, again, it's an exclusive group just for preloaders. And there's questions that have to be answered to get into that group. The first question is, are you subscribed to this channel? If the answer is no, forget about answering the rest of the questions. Okay, it's just for preloaders. Okay? All right. So for those of you that are not preloaders, are not VI preloaders, you're new to this channel, you just stumbled upon it maybe, and you're wondering, who is this guy? What are preloaders and what is all of this other stuff? All right, let me give you some clarification. My name's Robert. I'm a retired NYPD Highway Patrol motorcycle lieutenant. I did a wonderful 22-year career with the NYPD. 15 of those years were spent with the motorcycle unit. The name of my channel is called Robert Simmons Paying It Forward. And the purpose of this channel primarily is me sharing my knowledge, experience, and training that I received from the NYPD Highway Patrol Motorcycle Unit with you guys with a special focus on slow speed motorcycle operation. Why do I focus on that? Because that's the aspect of riding a motorcycle that is the most important, because that aspect of riding a motorcycle requires 100% of your skill to keep this motorcycle upright 15 miles per hour or less. Okay, so that's why I focus on that mostly on this channel. Secondly, I want to help you be the boss of your motorcycle. And all that simply means is I want to raise your confidence level at slow speeds, because that's the area where a lot of motorcycle riders, roughly 98%, again, I'm pulling those numbers out of my butt, but it's high, all right? A lot of you guys are uncomfortable when your motorcycle slows down, and that's displayed by A, how you feel, you know, but B, by having your feet out, okay? It shows a lack of confidence, and that's what I want to help you guys do. I want to help you feel confident making a right turn and a left turn and a U-turn. Oh, that dreaded U-turn, all right? But I got a bunch of videos on that, all right? You guys get a chance, check that out. But that's the goal. That's what I want to help you guys with. And lastly, I hold practice sessions in a parking lot here in Pooler, Georgia, usually on a weekly basis. All right, that's free of charge to my V.I.Preloaders. And if you guys are interested in coming to practice with me, just check the description section and look for practice sessions. Tells you everything you need to know. So although the primary focus of this channel is slow speed motorcycle operation, this channel is also going to cover a bunch of other things, product reviews, product installations, or anything. If I think it's relevant, I'm going to share it with you guys, and either it'll be a dedicated video to it or I'll mention it in the video. So in this video, we're going to be talking about my Road King Special. This is my 2019 Road King Special, aka my practice bike. And finally, I got my saddlebag guards from Harley Davidson. Finally, everything is backed up, you know. So, and I'm very anxious to put them on, because now what I will say to you guys about not engine guards, about saddlebag guards. Now I know a lot of people that said, I'll look at their bike. It's a brand new bike. It looks good. And I noticed that it doesn't have saddlebag guards. And I go, how come it doesn't have saddlebag guards? And the response is, I don't like the way they look. So I guess with me, because I'm so accustomed to seeing saddlebag guards on the motorcycle, that it actually looks odd to me not to have it. Like, I feel like it adds, of course it adds a safety aspect to it in regards to not having your saddlebags hit the ground if the motorcycle tips over, which the odds are it's going to happen, all right? It's, again, we're balancing a motorcycle on two wheels. So to think that you're never going to drop your motorcycle, you know. And again, if you're really practicing, all right, out there, the odds are going to increase that you drop your motorcycle, because you are, you know, kind of pushing the boundaries of your limits of your skill, okay? And things can happen all the time. It still happens to me. It happens to the best of them. So I think it's a good idea to have them, all right? And with that being said, finally got them in. I'm going to put them on. I've never done this before, so let's look in the box. Let's see what's in there. Hopefully there's some instructions in there, but if there's not, we always have the internet, right? Okay, let's do it. All right, guys, so I actually got these saddlebag guards maybe a week ago, maybe even longer than that, but I'm finally getting around to putting them on the motorcycle, so I haven't even taken anything out of this box. I opened it up at Harley Davidson, but all right, let's see what we got. All right. Okay, and I see some hardware in the bottom, or as they say in Massachusetts, some hardware. And that's it. I'm anticipating that this is not going to be, you know, that involved. So the funny thing to me, guys, again, talking about what I'm accustomed to me, this actually dresses the bike more. And what I mean by that is you have the engine guard, so it almost looks like it's supposed to be there, like it matches, you know what I mean? And it's not like it's just a big square, it's curvature to it. So, all right, again, that's just my opinion. Obviously, we're all different. So do whatever floats your boat, all right? All right, let me open these things. Let me open up these instructions. And what I also love, not a lot of parts. Oh, not a lot of parts at all. As a matter of fact, I'm going to read, but I'm looking at these two nuts, and I'm like, well, what are these supposed to go to? So I'm assuming it's something that's already on the motorcycle, because clearly it doesn't go to this. This nut goes to that. All right, so as per the instructions, it says we have to take off the saddlebags, the seat, and the side panels. So let's do that. All right, so before I do anything, I have quick disconnects on my saddlebags, and that's for the Custom Dynamics lights. If you guys watch my light installation, all right, check that video out too. And now for the side panels, move the passenger peg down, and you just pull right off. And last but not least, we'll take the seat off. Now, I usually have the motorcycle on the jack so that there's no low side. I like to keep it even while I'm doing anything on it. So I'm going to put it on the jack while I'm doing what I'm doing. All right, let's get to it. All right, guys, so I am, to say that I'm a little annoyed would be an understatement. So, and I'm annoyed with Savannah Harley-Davidson. And you know what, guys? I'm starting to think that when it comes to servicing my motorcycles or whatever, I think I'm going to be taking a ride up to Jacksonville. Let me try them out. I remember somebody else that decided to go up to Jacksonville rather than go to Savannah Harley-Davidson, even though Savannah Harley-Davidson, it's closer, but not always the best when it comes to things. I'm an attention to detail guy, right? I don't know everything there is to know. I expect them to know. So what am I talking about? I walked in there and told them, listen, I have a 2019 Road King Special, and I would like to get some saddlebag guards. Okay, they go in the computer. I pay for them, right? They take forever to get here. Not their fault. Everything is slowed down. That has nothing to do with Savannah Harley-Davidson. And I finally get them. I'm happy as hell, right? A week and a half probably passed since I had them, like I said earlier. And now today I decided to put them on. I'm going to do a video for you guys, right? And I'm looking at the instructions, and I'm like, wait a minute, something's not adding up. So, see this hole right here? So, when you put this on, right? This hole is supposed to go inside of the bracket that the saddlebag sits on. But clearly, this is not the correct bar for that. There's no, you know what I mean? Obviously, there's no way to get this, because there's a hole in there. It doesn't come out on the other side. So this is supposed to just be a straight bar going into this with a hole in it. And then there's supposed to be a screw to go through here. So clearly, I also needed one of these, right? That's more money. But forget about the money part of it. Why would they not say, hey, you're going to need this as well? So after waiting all of that time, after me taking this bike all apart to get this thing to put it on, I'm all ready to go. I can't even put it on now. And that's just annoying to me, because that's something that should be told to the customer. The customer should be told, okay, if you want to do this, here's what you're going to need. All right? Doesn't stop there, guys. Look at this. So you guys remember when I picked up my Street Glide? It was shutting off, and they told me they couldn't duplicate the problem. All right. So while I'm down here working on this motorcycle, I look over at my Street Glide, and I'm like, what the hell is that hanging out? Do you guys know what this is? Whatever it is, right? And look at this. So whatever this is, it damn sure shouldn't be hanging out like that, right? Now, I know for a fact that when I took my motorcycle there, that wasn't like that. But see, that's the kind of stuff that will definitely make me ride my motorcycle 2 hours someplace else. And you guys know I don't ride long distances. I don't care if I got to trailer it. But the point is, stuff like that that will drive me crazy because that's just sloppy work. There's been a few things that I've had to deal with Savannah Harley Davidson, and it's pertaining to stuff like that, like me getting a new part on my motorcycle and having to ask for the old parts. That's something that should be automatic. Sir, here's your old parts. You know, little things here and there. I'm not going to get into all of them, but this right here, that's the last straw for me. And then this, where now I have to buy a new one of these, and hopefully it's in stock, or hopefully I can get it sometime this year, because again, everything's backed up. So, you know, listen, guys, they're very good people there. This has nothing to do with that, but we're talking about business here. It's not about being nice people. It's about business. And on the business end of things, when I'm spending money, I expect a certain level of service. And when I don't get it, I can spend my money someplace else, right? I don't have any allegiance to any place, all right? I just don't. So, all right, enough said about that, guys. You know I don't sweat the small stuff. And by not sweating it, what I mean is, am I annoyed? Yes, I'm still human. But I'm just going to wind up going someplace else to get what I need. I am going to go back there so that I can talk to somebody and tell them in person what happened to me and see what they're going to do to help me out. And then, you know, after that, and then this, oh my gosh. All right, guys. So, you know what, guys? I'm going to have to get back to you on the installation of these these saddlebag guards, because yeah, I knew it was too good to be true. It's a lot more involved. You have to take this screw off, then you have to take these two screws off the muffler. The muffler won't drop or anything, so it's fine. And then you have to take this screw off, and then there's another screw over here. Take that off, and then it says something about putting it on, and then you have to make sure it's seated properly so that your saddlebag is even. Because there's play apparently here. At least that's what was said on the video. So, yes, of course, I'm annoyed. I wanted to have this done and have it over with. My time is very important, and this is a waste of my time. So today is Monday. It is June 15th, and I'll get back to you guys. All right, guys, so today is Thursday, June 17th. Let me fill you in on what happened with this whole thing. So yesterday, I went to Harley, which was Wednesday. I took the Street Glide to Harley Davidson, and I brought up the wire that was hanging out. So it turns out that wire, it's actually a wire and then another piece that covers it. And that wire is used for them to find out what's going on with the motorcycle. They plug a computer into it. I don't know how they left that out, but it was overlooked. So that was taken care of. They apologized for that. And then I also had them make another adjustment to the controls on my handlebars, because I still felt like my clutch handle was a little too low. I wanted it a little higher. So they took care of that for me. And then I went and spoke to the parts department and brought up this whole thing about me not having the right equipment. And it turns out that they ordered the wrong, I can't say the wrong thing, but I am going to say the wrong thing because it wasn't complete. What they were supposed to order for me is a kit, and the kit includes not only those the saddlebag guards, but also the new brackets that the saddlebags sit on top of, because these two things go together. So I said, please don't tell me that this is also back ordered. They looked it up in the computer and they said, yes, this is also back ordered. But they got on the phone, and I think I was waiting for about 20-25 minutes because they were looking to see if they could find another Harley Davidson dealership that had these in stock. And lo and behold, they found one in Florida. They told me that it will be available either the next day or the day after. And sure enough, today, Thursday, I got a text message saying the parts are in. I rode this motorcycle there because of the King Tour Pack, because I knew for a fact I can fit this stuff in here. And that's the benefit of having a motorcycle with the King Tour Pack always on it. If I know I got to go do something or take care of some business, I have room to put the stuff in here. So I say all of this to say, good redemption. I will say that, good redemption. And I appreciated the fact, definitely, of them making it their business to try to find this part to correct this. So I want to thank them for that. All right, so I didn't even take it out of here yet. So what I'm going to have to do, guys, is I'm going to have to return. Okay, that's everything. I'm going to have to return the saddlebag guards that I originally got from them, and then they're going to give me a credit for that. All right, so now let's get into, or let's get back into installing these these saddlebag guards. But of course, now I got to move these motorcycles around. So let me get to that. Let me put this motorcycle where I need it to be so I can do what I need to do. All right, so before I get into moving these motorcycles around and setting it up, I forgot to tell you, I also had them make another adjustment to the Limited. So my heel to toe shifter here, you know, when you first buy these, this thing, the front one is all the way up and the back one's a little high too. And if you ever decide to not use this as a heel to toe shifter, meaning you want to put your foot under it to downshift, I'm sorry, to upshift. I'm never going to do that. You know, the whole purpose of this heel to toe shifter is to never have to put my foot under here again and scraping up sneakers and boots or whatever. I wish I had this when I was a highway cop because that's when it really mattered. Anyway, so I wanted them to put this as low as possible. And that way, when my foot's on this floorboard, when I want to downshift, all I have to do is kind of barely lift my foot and tap it, and I'm down. Tap it, and I'm down. All right? I had them do the same thing on my Street Glide. The Street Glide is not as low, you know, but it's low enough. And on the Road King, that's low enough as well too. I might even make this one a little lower, right? Because again, why have this much space? It just means I have to pick up my foot that much higher. I'm never going under here, so yeah, I think I'm gonna lower that one too. All right, guys, so now I have the proper stuff. So this was always correct, but this is the part that I needed. So I have to take off what's on the motorcycle now, that bar that supports the saddlebag, and replace it with this. And now you see that there's a hole in this as well as a hole in this. So this is going to go in here like that. All right, that's how it's going to be. All right, so we'll get that set up. We're going to need some tools. Of course, I have a bag of hardware, but let me get this out. Guys, I love this. Look at this. Look how convenient this is. Whenever I'm doing a project, I roll this thing out. All right, I got a tape measure on here. I got my drill. I got my hammer screwdriver. I got another bag down here, the ratchet set on the bottom. So you have 3 rows. It's on wheels, so it's nice and easy. They all turn. I have my belt on the back just in case I have to do something on the ladder. So good stuff, good stuff. You guys know I'm all about working smarter, not harder. All right, let's take off once again, I'm not going to take you guys through that again because we did that before, but I have to take off the saddlebags, the side covers, and the seat. All right, guys, so the first step was to take these 2 screws out, which I put right there, and they have little washers. And then you have to remove this screw. I already took the nut off of it on this side. And then there's another screw over here. Now this screw it's harder to get to because clearly you have more clearance right here. And you go deeper in here. And now you have this in the way. And then the nut is on the other side up here. And I had to kind of work my way around that too. But all right. And after I take those 2 screws out, take this screw off, and take this silver piece from off of here, then this will come off, and then I can put the new one on. All right, guys, so I took this bracket off. You had to take this piece out of here, right? And there's a rubber. This is like a retaining thing for the rubber, so I had to kind of shove it to get it out. And once that's done, you can see this part has the same thing. You're going to have to put that back in there. And you can also see the difference in the length of this. And the reason that this one is shorter is because it's going to be attached to this. So this is gonna go right here. And the instructions say we keep the screws, but we don't keep the nuts. You're gonna use the provided nuts. And in this part, it's gonna slide in there. Right? And it's that easy. There's a screw up here that has to be taken out, and that's where the top part of this is gonna go into. So let's do that. All right, guys, so everything's on. I used blue Loctite. Screw up here. And before you take that screw off, this thing is attached, and that's to support the seat. You're not going to need this anymore, so get rid of that. Put this screw back in. All of the screws are reused, but the nuts are not. This screw right in here. These two screws back in, those were reused with the washers. And of course, this bracket and the rubber piece. So I don't know for the other side, do this part before you even put this back on. Well, it doesn't matter either way, because at least when it's attached to here, you can push and nothing's going to move anywhere. And then these two screws right here and right here. So now I just have to tighten everything down, put the saddlebag on, make sure it's okay, and then move to the other side. Let me show you this too, guys. See what's on the edge of the exhaust pipe right here? This thing is magnetic, so I keep the nuts in here that I need. All right, and it sticks right there. Perfect, 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 perfect. All right, guys, so it's all done. Wasn't a difficult project at all. And now I'm going to feel a little bit more secure when I'm practicing on my practice bike, because I have saddlebag guards now. And in case you guys don't know, the first day I took this bike out to practice, I dropped it. And exactly what happened? Right there. And that's because there was no saddlebag guard. But you see now the guard is right there. So this would hit the ground and it would protect this from even being touched. All right? All right, guys, so that's going to do it for this video. I'm very happy that I have my saddlebag guards now. It's going to give me another level of security. You know, sometimes you want to push it a little bit more, and having a little extra layer of security gives me a little bit more confidence in doing so. It's a practice bike, so dropping the bike, not a big deal. Every bike's a practice bike. I say that all the time. However, putting the proper things on the motorcycle to protect it so that it doesn't get damaged, you know, that's the way to go. And these saddlebag guards, I think they were like $200 or something like that. The fact that I have the proper bar that the saddlebag sits on now, if I drop this motorcycle and the saddlebag guards hit the ground, again, only the underside is gonna be hit anyway. I've dropped my Street Glide CVO maybe 4 or 5 times. If you looked at it, you would never see any damage, because the only thing that hits the ground is the bottom of the engine guard and the bottom of the underside, I should say, of the saddlebag guard. All right. And you can also put motorcycle drop guards on both and you won't have any damage. All right. So the point is, guys, you know, I always want you to be out there practicing. Practice, 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 practice. I say that all the time, and I'm not saying it just because I like to say that word over and over again. It's something that I want you to do, and I don't want you to say, I don't want to practice because I don't want to drop my motorcycle and damage it. If you get the proper stuff to put on the motorcycle, you should be fine, because you're not going to damage the motorcycle, okay? And listen, guys, what we do on this channel, Slow Speed Motorcycle Operation, the more proficient you get in that, that's going to lessen the chances of you dropping your motorcycle. Because remember what I said, this channel is not about you going out there and dragging your floorboards and doing all that other stuff. It's just to make you proficient, okay? It's just to raise your confidence level so that you can make right turns, left turns, and U-turns. And I've put out a video already on making U-turns where you don't have to really lean the motorcycle to do so. All right, so the point is, get out there and practice, show this motorcycle who the boss is, and the only way you're gonna do that is to get out there and practice, all right? All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you for spending the time with me. I know there's anything you guys could be doing with your time, and the fact that you choose to spend a little bit of it with me, I appreciate that. I want to give a special shout out to my brothers and sisters in blue. Please be careful out there and know that you're appreciated. Another special shout out to the NYPD Highway Patrol, particularly Highway 1, because that's where I worked, and the Highway District Motorcycle School, because that's who taught me how to ride this motorcycle the way I ride it. But it doesn't end there, guys. I don't just say practice, practice, practice. I practice what I preach. It's a perishable skill, guys. You have to continually practice, because if you don't, you're going to lose parts of it. All right, guys? All right, so I'm going to say it again. Practice, 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 practice. Preload and keep it loaded. Practice, practice, practice. Because, guys, practice breeds confidence. And a confident rider is not only a safer rider, but a rider that's going to enjoy riding his motorcycle, his or her motorcycle, that much more. Until next time, guys.